Do not attempt to adjust your YouTube settings, for it is I, Why to the Nation's Rage, better known as Jared. And I promised that I would make this video, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hunker down on it and try to get it taken care of. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so if it goes for a long time, I apologize. I'm going to try to be straightforward and let you guys know this is the first time I have ever built a PC, let alone that. And I believe it is also the first time I've ever used 3 different cameras to edit a video with. So I'll explain. I've got this camera that's aimed on me right now, focusing on myself, that I can communicate with you through. I've also got a camera here to focus on what I'm going to be doing, the task at hand. I've also got this GoPro on my head for any other purpose that I might need it for, in case this macro camera here does not pick up the image that I want. I've got another choice to choose the GoPro that's on my head, in case I need to show you something that this camera can't see. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is I'm building a PC for the first time. I am a complete amateur at this. I have spent dozens and dozens of hours doing research online of how to put these things together, what all I need, and I've gone to great lengths to get the things that I need, and I'm hoping that I have everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go down a list and let you know what I have here. As you can see, and I'll use this camera here to show you. Okay, so I will start out with my processor, which is an Intel Core i7 5820K LGA 2011 V3 CPU. That is going to be strapped to this. This is a Asus X99 Deluxe 3.1 USB motherboard. In case you're wondering what kind of RAM I picked up, it is DDR4 300 megahertz, 16 gigabytes. That's 2-channel RAM, 2x8. The motherboard actually has enough slots for, I think it's 4-channel memory, but I figured all I need right now is 2 channels, so I have 16. Alright, all my software and such, my Windows 10 operating system software and my other software such as Sony Vegas Pro 13 will be going on to this 512 gigabyte SanDisk solid state drive. It is an X400 2.5 inch 7mm solid state drive by SanDisk. And then all of my project work, my videos and such, and anything else will be going on this. I don't have the packaging for this. It is a Seagate desktop hard disk drive, 3 terabyte, 7200 RPM. I have a Corsair RM 750 gold, 80 plus gold rated PSU, fully modular. I'm gonna need some kind of graphic power to push my video editing and my gaming, so I chose the MSI R9 390X 8G gaming GPU. If you're wondering why I went with AMD graphics and not GeForce graphics, it's simply because from what I've read, and I looked into it with a great deal, even though there's not a lot of information on the internet about this, from what I read, Sony Vegas Pro does much better with OpenCL graphics cards instead of CUDA graphics cards. I don't know if that's for sure the case, That's what I read, so I was just being safe. So I pretty much got the best AMD graphics card that I could afford in my budget. And I'm looking forward to see how it does. Go ahead and show you my keyboard and mouse. This is a Cooler Master Octane keyboard and mouse. It has up to 8 different colors for the light up keys on the keyboard. Pretty cool. Comes with the mouse. I also purchased this 28-inch AOC 4K monitor, which I'm pretty impressed with, and it was very inexpensive. I have read good reviews about it. In case you want to check it out, the actual model number is U2879VF, if you want to check that out. Good monitor for the price. And then also, what I just had to drive an hour away to pick up because I didn't get one when I ordered all the other parts. This is for overclocking the CPU. This is a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo heatsink and fan for the CPU. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and install the CPU. I'm going to make sure that I'm grounded. So I'm going to grab hold of my computer that's already running. It's already plugged into the wall and it is grounded. So I'm touching that to make sure I don't have any static electricity carried within me. Alright, I'm going to pull the motherboard out of the box here. Normally this motherboard would come in an Asus box, but I purchased it from Newegg and it had a discount on it. It was the last one that they had that I could get at the moment. So it was an open box motherboard, which makes me a little bit nervous. So I seem to be having some technical difficulties here with my cameras, and I apologize for that. But basically, I finally finished installing the CPU heatsink. It was quite an ordeal. I had issues with the standoffs. There are two different standoffs, and they both look very similar. The ones for this motherboard were just a little bit shorter than those, and naturally I put the ones that are too big on first, so I had to repeat my work. I had to get this thing just right. It was a little bit screwy, but I think we're good. I got my thermal paste installed on the surface of the CPU. It's nice and snug. I mean, you can pick it up. It's not going anywhere. So I think I can move on to the next step, which will be placing the motherboard inside the case and screwing it down. So let's get to that, shall we? This is a very, very big case. I must say, the biggest case I've ever had. I will ground myself again. Once again, pick up the motherboard. But I am forgetting one thing. There is one thing I need to do. Before I move on, I need to put the I/O shield on in the back. The I/O shield that you can't see, there it is. I have to put the shield on in the back before I attempt to put the motherboard inside. Or I'm going to have to take it right back out again, so I might as well do it right the first time, huh? What do you say? So apparently a lot of stuff came with this motherboard. A lot of extras. I like extras. Extras are good. There's the I/O shield. From what I've seen, this can be a little bit tricky to get in there as well. Let's see. Fun part. We will attempt to place the motherboard you that I have installed the screws into the standoffs for the motherboard, and I made sure that I made them snug, but I did not over tighten the screws. So this is what I did to guide it up. First I put this plate in here. And when I put the motherboard in, I just made sure that all these holes were lined up properly, and it'll kind of snap a little bit when it goes into place, so you'll know it. The next thing I did is I just aligned this hole right here. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little hole down there, just a little peg, and the motherboard will sit on that. And that's how you can make sure that all of your other holes line up properly. So yeah, that's that. Next, I believe we will be installing the PSU, the power supply. Oh, look, I get some more of these twist tie thingies. Nice, and a badge. Yeah, I tried to keep everything together as far as brands and stuff. There were some points where I just couldn't seem to get things to match up. Like, for instance, the Cooler Master heatsink. I know that I have a Corsair case and a Corsair PSU, but hey, as long as it works, I don't really care. That's all I'm asking for, is that it'll work. I do have a Cooler Master keyboard. I tell you, everything dwarfs, or this case dwarfs everything. It makes everything look so small. Look at the PSU. Look at the PSU down there. Look how small it looks compared to the case. The case is so big. It's crazy. What do you think, good boys? Coming along. So it is day 2. I have finished up on the PC. Took me about 4 hours to get it all put together and running. The only real tricky part was getting that heat sink to sit right and making sure that I got enough of the thermal paste spread out on the CPU like it was supposed to be. I never saw anybody install one of those particular types of heat sinks, so it was a little bit tricky for me, especially since it was my first build. But I think all in all it went well. It looks really good, I think. By the way, here's the keyboard. Keyboard's pretty cool, pretty fancy. Hit this button here, you can change the color of the keys. You can change how bright they are. You can change the mode, if I can remember how to do it. Yeah, you can get it to cycle through like that. You can change the brightness of it. The mouse, you can change the color. Well, you're supposed to be able to change the color of the mouse. The backlight on there it is. By pushing that button there. Another thing that's pretty cool is the graphics card. I can open it up. By the way, here's the screen. It's the 28-inch 4K screen by AOC. It's a generic company, but it's a very good screen, and I've been pretty pleased with it. So you go into the MSI gaming app that comes on the disc, which comes with the graphics card, and there's a little button right here to the side. This is what selects your mode, whether you want like silent, power saving mode, gaming mode, or overclocking mode. I don't think I'm going to try to overclock anything right now. I don't trust that heatsink. I've only got 4 fans inside the case, so I really don't want to take the risk, and I'm pretty pleased with the performance already because I'm coming from a AMD Athlon processor from like 2009, so I'm very pleased with my 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think I had 4 before, and my CPU, my AMD Athlon CPU was a dual core. So going from a dual core processor to a 6-core processor is a pretty big step, I think. But anyway, so you click on this LED and you'll see LED effects. This is for the graphics card, which you can see in there. So you would hit, if you wanted to change the effect, sorry, the camera's trying to focus. There we go. So you would hit the styles. It says no animation, but you can actually change how it lights up. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty neat, pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to hit apply. You gotta hit apply. And yeah, that's pulsate. So it's like breathing. Oh, it's called breathing. It's like the dragon is breathing or something. You got flashing. You got double flashing. And then you got random. So it's like doing all three. I just like to keep it on regular, no animation. I don't know, I think it looks good like that. So yeah, that's my PC. Sorry I failed to get back with you, but I was very just absorbed in what I was doing last night. I was trying to get it done before it got too late, and I ran into a couple of hiccups that slowed me down a little bit. I think it turned out well though, and I was actually finally able to get Sony Vegas Pro 13. This is the full version. It comes with a bunch of extra software programs and everything. Well, that doesn't mean anything to you, it's just a gray screen. But yeah, I'm very pleased with Sony Vegas Pro. I've been using it for a while now. I've actually started using Sony Vegas whenever I started my channel, but I just recently bought the newest version and I'm very pleased with it. And I can't wait to see what all I'm going to be able to do. I've already rendered one video just to test the video itself. It was a 1080p 30p 1080 video that I did yesterday. It was actually the vlog that I did yesterday, and it worked very well. It took just a little bit longer than the video itself. So the video was like 6 minutes. It took like 6.5 minutes to render the video in full 1080p. So I'm pretty pleased with that, considering the computer that I did come from before. Just to render 6 minutes worth of video would have probably taken me about half an hour. So I'm very pleased with what I have here, and you know, in due time I will upgrade. Like I said, I went with the 5820K i7 processor. What I really wanted to get was the 5960X processor, i7, and I have the motherboard now to upgrade to that. It's completely compatible. So whenever the time comes, I'll upgrade the motherboard. I'll probably upgrade and get a second graphics card put in. I'll upgrade the PSU. I'll get me some more drives to store things on, probably another solid state drive, maybe an M.2 drive, because the motherboard it has 2 slots for M.2 drive, so that's awesome as well. I'll upgrade the RAM whenever I need it, if it's necessary. I can do all these things. So that was the main thing. I just wanted to get the platform able to upgrade in the future. I wanted to get the right motherboard where I always had room to grow. So I think I did pretty good all in all. Total price altogether, I have to add it all up, but I'm thinking it was somewhere around maybe a little over $2,000 for all the stuff that I bought for it. Not including Sony Vegas. The Sony Vegas Pro is like $800, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's like outrageous. But once you see all the stuff that you can do with it, you can actually, you know, make professional videos with this software. It's great to have, especially if you're trying to get into that field of work. If you do videography for weddings or anything else, events, you name it, this is what professionals use. I know that a lot of professionals use Adobe Suite or whatever it's called, the Adobe Cloud. But this is still well known and well used a lot with professionals. And I am not a professional, but I would like to be one day. So I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep making videos. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace.